That tomatoey ketchup taste you remember? Gone. Your favorite childhood condiment has been quietly changing for decades. No, you're not crazy, ketchup really doesn't taste like it used to. And we're about to reveal the surprising reasons why that perfect tomato tang has disappeared from your burgers and fries. But before the ketchup deep dive, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We're just getting started with the juicy details, and trust me, you won't believe what companies have been doing to your favorite condiment. Let's start with a mind blower. Ketchup wasn't always that red tomato stuff. It actually began as fermented fish sauce in ancient China called ketchup, way back in the 3rd century BC. And guess what? No tomatoes in sight. When British traders discovered this umami bomb in Southeast Asia in the 1600s, they were obsessed. But they couldn't get the original ingredients back home, so they got creative. We're talking mushroom ketchup, walnut ketchup, even oyster ketchup. These early ketchups, way more savory and complex than what we squeeze on burgers today. Tomatoes didn't even enter the ketchup chat until 1812, when Philadelphia scientist James Mees published the first tomato ketchup recipe. And his recipe had brandy as a preservative instead of vinegar, and no sugar at all. That's right, ketchup used to be tangy and tart, not the sweet stuff we know today. The wild journey from fermented fish to tomato sauce is the first major reason your ketchup tastes different from what grandma remembers. Now let's talk tomatoes, because they're kind of a big deal for ketchup. Modern tomatoes are nothing like the ones used back in the day. After the mid-1900s, companies like Heinz started breeding tomatoes specifically for commercial ketchup production. They weren't focused on flavor, they wanted tomatoes that looked good, lasted forever, and could be harvested by machines. These commercial tomatoes have higher yields and longer shelf life, but many people say they've lost that intense, complex flavor of older heirloom varieties. And it's not just the breeding, it's how they're grown. Modern irrigation, fertilizers, and farming techniques have changed the sugar and acid balance in tomatoes. Those dry-farmed, water-stressed tomatoes from the past, they had concentrated sugars and acids that gave ketchup a much more intense flavor. So when Grandpa says tomatoes don't taste like they used to, he's not wrong. The foundation of ketchup has literally transformed, and your taste buds can tell the difference. Now let's talk about something that's changed big time, the sweetness. Early ketchup recipes from the 1800s started adding a bit of cane sugar to balance out the acidity of tomatoes. But in the 1970s and 80s, everything changed. Manufacturers started replacing regular sugar with high-fructose corn syrup. Why? It was cheaper. Government subsidies made corn production super affordable. Plus, high-fructose corn syrup works as a preservative and makes ketchup pour more smoothly. But here's the thing, many people say high-fructose corn syrup tastes different. It has a different kind of sweetness that some describe as less natural with a noticeable aftertaste. And modern ketchup can contain about 4 grams of sugar per tablespoon. That's roughly 7% of your daily recommended sugar intake just for dunking a few fries. In recent years, some brands have gone back to cane sugar with products like Simply Heinz. The sweetener swap is another major reason why that ketchup on your table might taste different from what you remember as a kid. Now, the actual way ketchup is made has also completely changed, and that's affecting the flavor big time. Back in the day, ketchup was often homemade in small batches. Slow cooking, maybe some fermentation, and tons of variation from recipe to recipe. But modern ketchup production, it's a whole different ballgame. Today's ketchup is made in massive factories with specialized machines handling every step. They use something called the hot break method, where tomatoes are flash heated to super high temperatures. This keeps the ketchup thick but kills off a lot of those delicate flavor compounds that make tomatoes taste amazing. Then there's high-pressure homogenization that makes ketchup super smooth. While these industrial methods make sure your ketchup is safe and consistent, they're stripping away some of the complexity and character. That bottle of ketchup in your fridge has been engineered to taste exactly the same every single time you buy it. But that consistency comes at the cost of the nuanced flavors that older production methods preserved. Let's talk spices, because ketchup wasn't always just tomato-y. Historical ketchup recipes were loaded with diverse spices. We're talking mace, cloves, nutmeg, allspice, cayenne pepper, and ginger. Some recipes even included anchovies, lemon peel, and bay leaves. All these ingredients created complex, layered flavors that would surprise your modern taste buds. But today's ketchup? The spice blend has been simplified and standardized. Most modern recipes stick to basics like onion powder and garlic powder. And those mysterious spices or natural flavors listed on the label, they're often proprietary blends, top-secret recipes that companies guard like gold. Heinz isn't telling anyone exactly what makes their ketchup taste like Heinz. This move from diverse, bold spicing to standardized flavor profiles has definitely changed how ketchup hits your palate. The complex, sometimes surprising notes in historical ketchup have given way to a more predictable taste experience. Now, here's something wild. Your taste preferences are probably different from your grandparents'. Americans generally like sweeter foods now than in the past, and ketchup manufacturers have noticed. They've adjusted recipes to match what modern taste buds crave. Think about it, that tangier, less sweet ketchup from decades ago might taste weird to you now, and the super sweet ketchup we have today might have been considered strange back then. But taste preferences vary across cultures too. Some regions prefer less sweet, spicier ketchup variations. That's why we're seeing more artisanal and gourmet ketchups popping up with all kinds of flavor profiles. Lower sugar, unique spices, specific tomato varieties, people are rediscovering what ketchup can be. Your changing taste preferences are both a cause and result of how ketchup has evolved. And it's not just what's in the ketchup, it's what's around it too. Ketchup used to come in glass bottles almost exclusively. Now plastic squeeze bottles are the norm. Some people swear ketchup tastes better from glass because it's non-porous and doesn't let oxygen in. There's even some science suggesting plastic can subtly alter flavor over time. And how you store it matters too. While ketchup is technically shelf-stable, Heinz recommends refrigeration after opening. That wasn't always common practice. Leaving ketchup at room temperature can lead to oxidation and separation that affects the taste. So if your grandma kept her ketchup in the pantry while you keep yours in the fridge, you're literally experiencing different flavors. Now, do you remember those crazy colored ketchups from the early 2000s? Green, purple, pink, even blue ketchup was a thing. Heinz launched these wild, easy squirt bottles aimed at kids, but they disappeared by 2006. Since then, ketchup has gotten more serious about health. When Whole Foods banned high-fructose corn syrup in 2011, ketchup brands started to rethink their recipes. Companies like Heinz introduced organic ketchup and no-sugar added versions. By the 2020s, Heinz even launched ketchup with 25% less sugar and added vegetables like carrots and butternut squash. And for all you spice lovers, there are now spicy ketchup varieties hitting the shelves. The ketchup timeline keeps evolving, with each change moving us further from that original taste profile that older generations remember. So these were the real reasons why ketchup just doesn't taste like it used to. Remember to like and subscribe for more food history deep dives, and stay tuned for our next video. Until then, keep squeezing, keep dipping, and keep asking questions about your favorite foods.